Hey YouTube, this is LaShawn Wiley with the Science of Managing, and today we will be talking about the science of managing a successful budget, and this is video 2. So this is part 2 of a 3-part series. If you have not seen part 1, stop this video now and search my video history, and look at part 1 first before you go on to this, because there are some important steps I need you to take in part 1 in order for part 2 to make sense, okay? So if you haven't seen part 1, stop the video and go ahead and look at part 1. If you have seen part 1, let's go ahead and get started. Now in part 2, we are going to take that information that you completed in part 1, where you came up with that big giant list of all of your expenses, that maybe not so big list of all of your income, and all of your debt. Your debt, you're just going to leave that number on the side or on the top somewhere, because you just need to know how much you owe the world, what your current debt is. Okay, so you need to know that. And that's just a number that is important for you to know, so you can understand how long and how far you need to go before you eliminate all of the debt that you have. But as far as income and expenses, look at those two lists, and you jotted down how much you were going to spend in all those areas. Add all of that up in each category so that you will have a total income category, and you have a total expense category. Now I want you to go ahead and take your total income minus your total expenses in order to get your cash flow, your monthly cash flow. All of the money that you spend minus all the money that you bring in will equal your cash flow. Now, for some of you guys, your cash flow may be $50. And if it's only $50, who cares? So what? That is okay. What you don't want is to have a negative number in your cash flow, because if you have a negative number, then that means you're spending more money each month than you make in, than you bring in. And that is something that will need to be rectified as soon as possible. Continue watching this video and I'll show you how to change that around. Okay? But if your cash flow is something, even if it's $20, some of you guys are going to have higher cash flows. But like I said, even if it's a small number, keep watching this video so I can explain to you how to make that number a big number. How to increase your cash flow. There's 2 ways to increase your cash flow. You can increase your cash flow by increasing your income or reducing your expenses. Increasing your income or reducing your expenses. Let's talk about increasing your income first. Here's a long list of things you can do to increase your current income. So just because your income, let's say it's $50, your cash flow is $50. So what that it's only $50? This is how you're going to boost that number up. You're going to think about things that are on this list, and some of this is a no-go for some of you guys. It's a non-starter. Well, some of these items might be a possibility. I'm not saying all of these items will work for you, but if you find even one of these items will work for you, then you just found out a way to increase your income. And if you increase your income, you just increased your cash flow. That's really important right now. Making that cash flow jump and maximizing that cash flow line is important. And you'll see why that's so important a little bit later. All right, so rent a room out. And some people's like, nope, I'm not renting a room out. I don't want strangers in my house and renting a room out and somebody coming into my kitchen. Okay, if that's not for you, this line is not for you. Don't worry about that one. Go to the next. Get a roommate. If you still feel strong about no one sharing your space, I understand. That's okay as well. Okay, but it is a great idea in order to increase your cash flow. Start a side hustle. We already talked a little bit about that. Mowing lawn, shoveling snow. I think I put that on this list somewhere. But doing things in your neighborhood, plumbing, whatever you're good at. And I did list some items for side hustle. Let's go over those. Walking the dog is what I put on here. Being a handyman for people in your neighborhood or even relatives. Detailing, washing cars. Selling pies or plates. I know someone in California who actually sells food plates. He does a really good job. The food is great. I think his the flyers that he put out may be Sporties or something like that, but He cooks the plates. He advertised that he's going to be selling plates, and then he sells the plates on a coordinated day, and that is money that comes in. That's extra money that builds up his cash flow. Okay, if you know how to bake pies, you know how to make desserts, sell those and make some extra money. Babysitting, dog sitting, tutoring, photography. Photography was one that I actually did. I did this for a little while. I bought a camera. I loved photography. I learned how to do it, and then I would do weddings and things like that on the weekends. And I still had my 9 to 5. So that was a great extra source of income in order to build up my cash flow. Cutting grass, shoveling snow if you're on the East Coast, auto repairs, plumbing work, house cleaning, get a job promotion at your job, or simply take on a second job. All of these things, like I said, some of this may not be for you, but if you could find one or even two of the items on this list that you can actually go for, go ahead and implement it. Use your talents, your hidden talents, to make money off of it and have yourself a secondary hustle to give you some more cash flow. That's what it's really all about, you guys. All right? Let's talk a little bit about reducing expenses. Now, when it comes to reducing expenses, you're basically going to have to start cutting down what you spend each month. Look at that list, and this probably already jumped out to you when you're creating that list in the first episode here, in the first portion of this video, part 1. When you're probably writing this stuff down, you're probably surprised, saying, wow, I can't believe I actually spent that kind of money on eating out. So cut down on takeout food. Eliminate unused memberships that you don't need. That gym membership that you never go to, it may be $15 a month, but that's $15 saved. That would turn your $50 cash flow to $65. Okay? Cutting down on shopping. You know you don't need those extra tennis shoes. You know you don't need that extra bag. You don't need that extra dress or that extra t-shirt or whatever it is. All of that costs money. Skip on it a little bit just to get your finances in order. Okay? Use coupons, because using coupons, if you do it every month, guess what? You just created extra money to go to your cash flow. Do your own hair. I cut my own hair. And, I got tired of spending money every 2 weeks to go get my hair cut. And I said, you know what? I need to figure out how to do this myself. So I bought some clippers and I went and cut my own hair, and now I save that money. Okay? Resist buying expensive toys. You know what that is. That hoverboard. You don't need that. That motorcycle. Do you really need it? Especially if your finances are not in order, don't waste your money on that stuff. Okay? Going out with your friends and family members, that all costs money, you guys. Cut down on that. Refinancing your home will save you some money on interest costs. Okay? Taking out a consolidation loan. If you're paying on 5 credit cards, for example, and the APR on those 5 credit cards is around 20%, you can take a loan, or just get a loan for the total of how much you owe on all those credit cards for a lower APR. Let's say the APR for the loan is only going to be around 13%. That's better than 20%. You're saving 7% of what you would normally be given to the banks or given to the credit card companies. So take out a consolidation loan. Get rid of your car note. Now, this is a big one, because I know a lot of you people are saying, I need a car. I need this car. This is my car. I need this car. You don't need that car. You need a car, but you don't need that car. That car might be too expensive. Sell it. If you owe $5,000 on the car note, or if you owe $10,000 on the car note, list it, sell it for $10,000. Your car note is even. You don't owe nobody now. Use that $10,000 that you received to pay it off. And then just get you a regular A to B car. And the A to B car, some of you guys know what an A to B is. An A to B car is a car that'll get you to point A to point B without any extra gleam, glam, or flash. But it'll reliably get you there. That's all you really need at the beginning. Then, after you get your finances in order, you can go ahead and get that shiny car. All right? If you can't afford it, don't get it now. Use a cheap sale plan. There's these prepaid sale plans that are, some of them are $20 a month. Some of them are $30 a month, depending on how you set them up. But they're a lot cheaper than if you got a plan, assigned a contract with Verizon. and got a plan and got the most expensive phone and started paying on that phone and paying on your plan, you're paying $150, $200 a month when you can just get a cheap little, prepaid phone. That'll save you a lot of money. And if you save $100 by doing this route, you just added $100 to your cash flow. Okay? So think about it this way. A dollar saved is a dollar earned. All of the money that you're cutting and saving and chipping away here goes right up to your cash flow. And the name of the game right now for you is to increase your cash flow as much as you can, especially if your cash flow is a negative number. This is really important to do this stuff if your cash flow is negative. Flip that to a positive by doing these things here, or doing these things up here at the top, or doing a combination of both. You can do it. It's important enough to do it. Believe in yourself. Don't let anyone try to talk you out of doing these things. Listen to the people that are trying to help you instead of the people who are too lazy to do these things themselves, because they will talk you out of this stuff if you let them. Don't listen to them. That concludes part 2, you guys. Please stay tuned in to part 3. Thank you for watching. Please be good. Succeed in life. No excuses. Thank you guys for watching.